Ham? Have a seat over here, Mr. Ham. Go ahead, have a seat, sir.
Should I bring this mask down or leave it up?
You got to keep your mask on for me.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hale. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
What was that, sir? Say that.
Do you mind if we hold your hearing by video, Mr. Ham?
No, sir. I appreciate it, sir.
All right, Mr. Ham, you've been charged in case 22 CR 001745H with battery family violence. Mr. Howard, is there a history?
46 total between Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Florida. 2008 suspended license. I'll give you the Pennsylvania first. 2008 suspended license, false identification to law enforcement, reckless endangering, fleeing to elude police, accident involving death or personal injury. Hold on. 2006 disorderly conduct, harassment, simple assault. 04 simple assault, criminal mischief.
Okay, hold on.
He got some old violence from the 90s, I can tell you that, out of Pennsylvania. Last arrest in Delaware was 01. Last arrest in Georgia looks like 2013. No, 2014. Shoplifting, felony obstruction, 2 counts, removal of weapon by a public official. Those were convictions. That's it.
Mr. Tortorello?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. For the battery family violence charge, the state's recommending a $5,000 surety bond. The conditions is that he have no contact with the victim, and his name is Robert Connor. His last name is spelled Connor, and that he stay away from 835 Rose Circle Southwest, apartment 4 in Atlanta, Georgia. That he take the one day anger management class, no weapons, no drugs or alcohol, and no new violations of Georgia law while he's out on bond. Your Honor, on March 26, 2022, around 1:18 a.m., an officer S. Tran of the Atlanta Police Department responded to a domestic violence dispute call at the incident location, 835 Rose Circle Southwest in Atlanta, Georgia. Upon arrival, the officer spoke to the victim, Robert Connor, who said he stays in apartment number 4 and was trying to get some sleep, but his next door roommate, defendant Kenneth Ham, was making a lot of ruckuses. The victim advised he opened his door and went into the common space of their house and advised the defendant to lower the noise. The defendant became upset and pushed the victim into his room, and they got into a physical altercation. The victim advised that the defendant pushed him and that he fell on his bed. And due to him defending himself, the victim found the nearest object and threw it at the defendant. The victim said that he was punched in the face. The officer did observe a knot on his left temple and a knot on his top left side of the victim's forehead. The victim's mirrors were broken and there were shards of glass all over the room. The victim's nightstand and other objects were on the ground. Officer then went to speak to the defendant, where the officer observed the defendant had a small laceration on his left hand. The officer asked the defendant what had happened to his left hand, and the defendant said he received an injury from working out. The officer noticed that the defendant was intoxicated due to redness in his face and the defendant emitting strong odor of alcoholic beverage from his person. The officer went inside the defendant's room and did not see that it was messy or that it had any objects on the ground. The defendant was taken to Grady Memorial Hospital for medical clearance. The defendant did sustain small lacerations on his feet due to defendant stepping on glass in the victim's room. The officer did notice suspected blood in the victim's room. All these events did occur in Fulton County, Georgia. Your Honor, as you've heard, the defendant has 46 cycles. So he's a multi-state offender. He definitely has a risk of reoffending if he is put out on bond. His most recent arrest without disposition in his Georgia cycle is a theft by shoplifting on November 8th, 2013. The arrest was made by the Chamblee Police Department. His most recent conviction is an obstruction felony charge and a theft by shoplifting charge. He pled guilty on June 23rd, 2015 in DeKalb County Superior Court. Your Honor, also, we do have concerns that while out on bond, he will definitely intimidate the victim as they are roommates. He knows where he lives. And for that reason, Your Honor, we are concerned for the victim's safety. And to add, Your Honor, I see on his record, he does have an open criminal trespass case. It's 13 MAGC-04807. So for all those reasons, Your Honor, we are asking for a $5,000 surety bond. Nothing further.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Gant. Is this your client?
Yes, it is, Your Honor. And I do apologize for logging on a few minutes late. I had some technical difficulties. Mr. Kenneth Ham, I apologize. Mr. Kenneth Ham is 58 years old. He has been in the Atlanta area since 2012. Your Honor, we are opposed to the stay away at 835 Rose Circle, as that is Mr. Ham's residence. He states that he has a separate room and also has a private entrance. I would ask that Your Honor instead order a no violent contact order. Mr. Ham completed high school. He also completed a trade in the area of HVAC and refrigeration. He currently is employed in construction and planning and catering. Your Honor, he denies the allegations. He states that he was merely defending himself. He states that Mr. Connor, the complaining witness, attacked him. He states that he also has a lump on his, let me back up. He has lacerations on his hand. He also has injuries on his right ankle and toe, also an abrasion on his ankle. I acknowledge my client's history. However, I would bring to the court's attention that there are no convictions of violence, Your Honor. This obstruction of law enforcement is back in 2015. The theft conviction is 2013. I believe that these are too remote for the court to consider. Furthermore, the open case that's in 2013, that is a magistrate case. I do not even believe that my client was brought for the judge for first appearance. So I would ask that you take that into consideration. And for these reasons, Your Honor, I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Ham's behalf. And if the court is not inclined to do so, then a bond of no more than $1,000. And again, we are opposed to the stay away. Thank you.
Has anyone spoken, Mr. Connor?
I have not, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor, the state has not been able to get in touch with Mr. Connor. That's actually one of my main concerns, Your Honor, is that there has been no contact with the victim. And for that reason, Your Honor, we are strongly opposed to the no violent contact order. I ask that, Your Honor, please impose the stay away and no contact with the victim.
All right, it's going to be a $2,000 good bond, no further contact with Robert Connor. At this point in time, stay away from the 835 Rose Circle Southwest address. He can go back there on one occasion with a police escort to retrieve any belongings that he might have there. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Ham.
What does that mean?
I'll explain it to you, Mr. Ham.
No.
You got a $6,000, I'm sorry, you got a $2,000 good bond.
What's that good bond?
I'll explain it to you. Have a seat right here.
You got a bond.
Next, we have position 6, Mr. Coleman.
Judge, hold him until we get him interviewed. We haven't interviewed him yet.
I want to go pro se.
Okay. Judge, you have to qualify him then.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Coleman. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have the case heard by video?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present for you at this proceedings. We have counsel here for you if you'd like to speak to counsel. If you wish to proceed pro se, you can proceed pro se, but you have a lawyer here that's willing to talk to you if you're willing to talk to them.
I'm okay. I'm gonna go pro se.
All right, Mr. Coleman, you've been charged in case 22 CR 001739F for terroristic threats and simple assault. Ms. Tortorella?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm
For
sorry,
the,
I'm sorry, Ms. Tortorella. Mr. Howard, is there a history?
Yes, 8th adult arrest. I got March 26th, simple assault. January 5th, 2022, simple assault, family violence. It looks like he's on probation for cruelty in the first, aggravated assault. In 2018, they gave him 9 years probation for that. And possession of cocaine with intent to distribute. Got a failure to appear from 2018. Escape that was dismissed from 2016. Got an ag assault conviction from 2015. I don't see that armed robbery with that arrest. That's all.
Judge, he also has 2 cases. Would you please qualify that he wants to go pro se on both cases?
Yes, I have that he has the 22 CR 001739F terroristic threats and a simple assault. And you understand, Mr. Coleman, it's my understanding that you wish to proceed pro se on both these charges?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Tortorella?
yes, Your Honor. For the terroristic threats charge, the state recommends a $4,000 surety bond. For the simple assault, a $2,500 surety bond, which would be a total of $6,500, and that would be a surety bond. The conditions is that he have no contact with the victim and its Deputy P. Baptiste. And for the record, that's spelled B as in boy, A P T I S T E. That the defendant, if he is able to bond out, take a 1-day anger management, no weapons, no drugs or alcohol, and no new violations of Georgia law. Your Honor, on March 26, 2022, around 8:30 p.m. at the Fulton County Jail, 901 Rice Street in Atlanta, Georgia, a Sergeant M. Jordan was assigned to 1 North as a floor supervisor. The sergeant was notified by Deputy P. Baptiste of a situation that had occurred at 5 North with an inmate, defendant Atlanta Coleman, and that it needed to be investigated. According to the victim, Deputy Baptiste, he was picking up trash in zone 100 when he approached the defendant who was housed in his cell. The victim said he tried to close the door and the defendant aggressively pushed the door back open again. The victim advised he gave verbal command to the defendant not to open the cell door again. The victim said the defendant clenched his fists and got into a fighting stance position and pointed his hand at the victim's face. Then the defendant threatened the deputy by stating that he swore on everything that he loved that he was going to, and I quote, Your Honor, beat his ass. The victim, Deputy Baptiste, captured everything on his body-worn camera. The sergeant spoke to the defendant. The defendant said he was talking on the phone with his girlfriend and that he said to the deputy that if he closed his cell door, that the Wi-Fi will cut his conversation off. The defendant said he felt disrespected by the victim when after making such statement, he shut his cell door anyway. The defendant said he wanted to go to fight the victim and told him to turn his camera off so they could go at it like men. And all these events did occur in Fulton County, Georgia. Your Honor, I see that he does have an open felony case, 22 CP 205639, possession of firearm by a convicted felon and possession of firearm during a commission of a crime and other charges. He's also being held without bond on 2 closed cases, Your Honor, which to me, I'm thinking it's a violation of probation situation. One that the incident date was June 26, 2015, and where he pled to armed robbery and aggravated assault. And there's actually two more, Your Honor. 18 SC 161942. He's being held without bond for that Superior Court case. And 18 SC 159686. He's also being held without bond for that one. And they're both closed cases as well, Your Honor. Your Honor, for this very reason, he has an open felony case. He definitely poses a risk of reoffending while out on bond. And the very nature of these facts, Your Honor, are a little concerning. And we do ask for that surety bond, Your Honor.
All right. Again, Mr. Coleman, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. I'm sure that if you had an attorney present, that they would advise you to remain silent at this point in time. But that's up to you if you have anything that you'd like to tell the court.
Yes, I do. The doors are broken in his jail, and my door was broke, and the door was cracked, and I let the officer know once I got off the phone, because the Wi-Fi that it will go off once you close the door, even though that is broke. When it closed, the Wi-Fi cut off, and I told him I closed the door when I get off the phone, and he still slammed the door while I was on the phone. I was actually on the phone with my son. My son's birthday is coming up, and it was my first time talking to him since I've been locked up, and he still slammed the door in my face, so I felt disrespected. And yes, I did. We had a confrontation.
All right. Thank you, Mr.
I'm truthful.
It's going to be a $500 good bond on each charge, making for a total of $1,000 good bond. No further violent contact with Deputy Baptiste, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Coleman.
Thank you, sir.
Judge, before you let him go, I'm looking at on the calendar a 22 CR 000075F. And it is my understanding that they wanted me to represent him on all his cases. Is he also turning us down on that case as well? That's also before Judge Richardson.
Okay, I don't have him on our if that's a different charge, he'll be on a different calendar for that charge.
Okay.
I would imagine, because this is only for the first appearance bond hearing cases. If he has something different, that's between Judge Richardson.
Excuse me, Your Honor. I have a private attorney on that case.
Okay, all right.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Coleman, good luck to you. Who do we have next?
Position 7, Mr. Daniels.
Good afternoon, Mr. Daniels. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
I'm not going to say. Oh, go ahead, Ms. Gann. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do apologize for interrupting. I had requested a breakout for this session.
I texted it and I assumed.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Let's see. Can you use the telephone so that we can go to someone else, Ms. Gant?
Oh, no, I've interviewed the client.
You want to break out amongst us?
Yes, Your Honor, and also for position 1.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought that he was needing to be interviewed. All right, so why don't we do this? Anybody else that we're going to need a breakout for today besides position 1 and position 7?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Mencia, position number 16. I'm waiting for Spanish interpreter who will be joining us a little bit late today.
Okay, that's fine. So you'll need a breakout with your client and the interpreter first. Is that what you're telling me? Okay. Yes. All right. So for position 1 and position 7, whoever needs to, I guess, Ms. Falk, Ms. Tortorello, Ms. Gant. I don't know which ASG has these cases.
Your Honor, go ahead. Sorry, Deputy Falk. Your Honor, I have position, I believe it was 7, Mr. Daniels.
Okay, and who has position 1?
That should be Miss Mitchell.
Okay, and
but I can handle that case if she is unavailable.
Okay, I see her on the line.
Position 1?
Yes.
Who is position one again? No.
Barbary.
No.
Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. Actually, Antoine Barbary is mine. But I was also focused on position 16 due to the nature of the facts. That may be something best taken out in the breakout. And Your Honor can see the charge associated with that case.
Okay. And whose case is that?
That will be mine, Your Honor.
Okay. So let's.
But that is one that needs a Spanish interpreter, so we may have to take that up later.
Right. Let's take that up later. Once Ms. Kim has an opportunity to speak with her client. All right, so if we can at this point in time put Ms. Gant, Ms. Falk, Ms. Tortorello, and myself into a breakout room, please. Okay, courtroom 2. We have had a discussion regarding Mr. Daniels with Ms. Gant, his attorney. The bond is going to be $1,000 good bond, no further contact with Ms. Park, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Daniels.
Next, we have position 16, Mr. Menace. Oh, he's the interpreter, never mind. Position 14, Mr. Mayfield. Mr. Daniels, you have a seat right here.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayfield. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we conducted by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Mayfield, you've been charged in case 22 CR 001752F with giving false information to law enforcement and simple battery. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
20 total. Last arrest was March 10th. Failure to appear out of Coweta County. On probation in Coweta for shoplifting. Has an open theft by taking in West Point. Shoplifting conviction 2019. 2013 probation violation, simple assault. He pled no to simple assault 2010. Has history out of Alabama. 2019 domestic violence 3rd degree. Robbery in the 3rd degree. 2019 fugitive from justice for a burglary charge. 2018 public order crime, 2 counts. 2018 assault. 2018 domestic violence, 2nd degree assault. 2017 theft by receiving stolen property. 2017 domestic violence, 1st degree. Unlawful imprisonment, 1st degree. 2017 probation violation. 2015 violation of probation. 2009 suspended license. Failure to appear.
Thank you, Mr. Howard. Good afternoon, Ms. Mitchell.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Your Honor, in this case, the defendant battered Mr. Jason Arnold Jr., common spelling, by grabbing him by his waist. Based on what Mr. Arnold said, the defendant approached him from behind, hugging him and kissing him on his neck, reached in his pants and began grabbing his genitals from behind. This continued as 2 other males entered the elevator. The defendant watched Mr. Arnold go into his hotel room, and Mr. Arnold was afraid to tell his parents, being that he was 17. According to the surveillance footage provided by the hotel staff, it shows the defendant walking up behind Mr. Arnold and grabbed him by the waist. It appeared to be a small conversation as they entered the elevator. The surveillance footage does not show the hug, kiss, or any sexual assault. It's important to note that the video only showed footage from the lobby, nothing from inside the elevator or anything on the other floors, where Mr. Arnold also claims other stuff happened. The defendant initially gave officers a false name because he knew that he had a warrant at Coweta for probation violation for shoplifting. Your Honor, there's a current bond on this case of $2,000 surety, and the state is going to request that that bond be increased to, as to count 1, $1,000 surety, count 2, $4,000 surety, so totaling a $5,000 surety bond. No further contact with Mr. Jason Arnold Jr. Stay away from the address 2450 Old National Highway, College Park, Georgia. A 1-day anger awareness course, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. We are concerned that defendant is a risk of reoffending, as heard from pretrial, his violent criminal history. And he also has a failure to appear in 2021, so he may also be a flight risk. So that's going to be the basis of our recommendation, Your Honor. We'd also like to note that our victim advocate did have a chance to speak with the victim's mother, and she stated that she was upset and that the defendant was only charged with simple battery versus sexual battery, and that her son was only 17 years old. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Mayfield is 32 years old, and he is actually he has a children actually, and he also has a career as a public figure. He has started stand-up comedy and entertainer from July 2021, and his fan base is mostly here in Atlanta, Georgia. And Jason Arnold Jr., he says that he was one of the fan who has been kind of like very enthusiastic to be with him, but they don't have any personal relationship. He doesn't know him in person. The reason that he gave false information was because of his popularity as a public figure. He wanted to keep it anonymous. However, as soon as there was nobody around, like a public people, other people, he gave out all his real information to the officers and everybody else who need to have those information. So he would like to deny the allegation that he was the one who actually caused the touch. So we would like to request for, considering all those other charges, we would like to request for $1,000 surety bond for each charge. He started his career on July 21. As of now, his income is not stable. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so for the false information, $1,000 good bond. For the simple battery, a $3,000 good bond, makes it a total of a $4,000 good bond. No further contact with Jason Arnold. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. All right, good luck to you, Mr. Mayfield.
I can't say nothing.
You have a right to remain silent. Anything that you say can be used against you, Mr. Mayfield. Ms. Kim, you want to advise him?
Would you please stay silent, because it will be used against you. Unless it is directly related to the bond situation, please call me and I'll explain to you.
Okay, yes, I've
Yes.
lost all of my things because of this false stuff. The officers did not even want to arrest me. They didn't even want to arrest me, period.
Mr.
I don't have
Mayfield, would you please call me later?
I don't have no open case in West Point. The case I had in West Point was ran concurrent in with the charges I got in Coweta County, and I've never had a robbery charge. So I don't know where that come from. I've had theft cases, but I've never had a robbery charge. But the charge that's in West Point, the theft by taking, was ran concurrent with my Coweta County charge. And they're waiting on me now to come over there because I got 10 years probation violation. And I'm asking you, can you give me a signature bond so I can go over there to for my probation?
Okay, we've already issued the bond order, Mr. Mayfield.
Okay.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Okay, how can I contact you?
The jail will give you my number.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Next, we have position 5, Chandler.
And Your Honor, just to make you aware, the victim on the Ham case is here in the Zoom, so I'm not sure if he wants to speak or say anything regarding the case.
On which case, Ms. Tortorella?
Kenneth Ham.
Okay, so we've already covered that.
Correct, but the victim's here, so I'm not sure if he wanted to say something.
Well, the time to say something would have been when we were addressing the case. I mean, I've already issued the bond on the case and the stipulations, but if Mr. Connor wants to say something, I'm happy to hear it. But we've already dealt with the case, so.
Your Honor.
Mr. Connor? Okay, it does not appear that he is addressing the court. So for position 5, Mr. Chandler, good afternoon. I'm Judge Eric.
Your Honor, may I please be excused to the breakout room with a Miss Spanish interpreter, Your Honor? I'm sorry.
Well, that will be difficult to do because we have to do that right now because you'd have to occupy courtroom 2.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
No,
I'll do it later.
We have Officer Norris, who's in the courtroom 3.
Okay.
Can be interviewed with the Spanish interpreter.
Okay. Are they on the line yet?
They're logging on now, Judge. As soon as they come on, I'll put them in a breakout room.
Okay.
Yeah, they're right here.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so we'll do that. Good afternoon, Madam Interpreter. How are you this afternoon?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I'm doing well.
Okay, now let me go ahead and swear you in. Do you swear affirm that you will translate from English to Spanish and from Spanish to English to the best of your ability?
I do.
Okay, thank you. So when the other, oh, there they go. Courtroom 3. So let's put Ms. Kim, Ms. Hanson, and courtroom 3 into a breakout room, please. And as far as Mr. Chandler goes, who's representing him?
That's Ms. Gant.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Chandler, good afternoon again. I'm Judge Eric Marner. This is a state court expedited accusation calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon to you as well.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Mr. Chandler, you've been charged in case 22 CR 001738Y with battery. Is your history, Mr. Howard?
15 total. This is first Georgia arrest. Previous arrest come out of New Jersey. Get that for you. Last arrest was December 2021. Simple assault. It appears to be open. 2019 criminal mischief, damage to property, that was dismissed. Got a 2013 possession of controlled substance, dismissed. I got a guilty conviction 2013 for drug possession. Simple assault from 2012, dismissed. Before that was a 05 bail jumping, possession of certain bullets, possession of weapon, unlawful purpose, unlawful possession of weapons, and conspiracy. Those were dismissed except for the certain persons not to have weapons. That was a conviction. Everything else is old.
Thank you. Ms. Tortorella?
Yes, Your Honor. For the battery charge, the state's recommending a $5,000 surety bond. So the total would be a $5,000 surety bond for his bond. The conditions is that he have no contact with the victim, and it's Giovanna Baker. The first name is spelled J-A-V as in Victor, A-N as in Nancy, A. Baker is traditional spelling. That he take a one-day anger management course, no weapons, no drugs or alcohol, and no new violations of Georgia law. Your Honor, on March 7th, 2022, Officer Jay Jones of the College Park Police Department was dispatched to a person injured call at 5058 Old National Highway in College Park, Georgia. Upon arrival, the officer came in contact with the victim, Giovanna Baker, who advised she was involved in a verbal dispute with the defendant, Lamont Chandler, over a restaurant bill. The victim advised that after the bill was paid, the dispute escalated inside of the defendant's vehicle. The victim advised that the defendant punched her in the mouth and threw her out of his vehicle. The officer observed visible marks and bruises on the victim's head, face, and shoulder area. The victim was transported to the hospital. While on scene, the victim identified the defendant via photo, and all these events did occur in Fulton County, Georgia. Your Honor, as you've heard from pretrial, he does have an open, a possible open case out of New Jersey. Incident date of December 5th, 2021, arrested for simple assault by the South Brunswick Township Police Department. So for this, one of these reasons, Your Honor, is a flight risk. So if he is in fact called to court over there or held on this charge, Your Honor, there's no telling when he'll come to court for his Georgia case. He is a multi-state offender. He pled to aggravated assault back on May 25th, 2000 in New Jersey. He also pled to simple assault in 2012 in New Jersey. And Your Honor, just given the facts and the nature of what occurred here, we are concerned for the victim's safety and his possible risk of reoffending. So based on his record, Your Honor. So for this reason, we are recommending a $5,000 surety bond and nothing further.
Yeah.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Lamont Chandler is 3 years old. He has been in the Atlanta area for 16 months. He has family here, therefore he has community ties. Mr. Chandler completed high school and he is 17 credits from obtaining a degree in business and accounting. He was supposed to start a new job today at Kroger as a delivery driver. Prior to obtaining this job, Your Honor, he had been unemployed for a period of time. Therefore, he does not have the means to make bond. He denies the allegations. He states that the complaining witness, Ms. Giovanna Baker, was intoxicated.
Your Honor, I object. This has nothing to do with the Iola factors. This is not an immunity hearing.
As you know, Ms. Tortorello, and considering bond, I will hear whatever General Ms. Gant wants to tell me. So go ahead, Ms. Gant.
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, he denies the allegations. He states that the complaining witness was intoxicated and that she was trying to damage his vehicle and he merely acted to restrain her. He denies making any physical contact with her whatsoever. I acknowledge my client's history, Your Honor, but would ask that you consider the fact that the aggravated assault is more than 20 years old. The simple assault is over 10 years old. We did not hear about any recent convictions for violence. He is presumed innocent in that simple assault case, Your Honor, arising from New Jersey. Again, he's anxious to defend against these allegations. He does not want any contact with Ms. Baker. Therefore, that will take care of any concerns regarding reoffending or intimidating the witness. Again, for these reasons, Your Honor, I'm requesting a signature bond, and if Your Honor determines that he is ineligible, then a bond of no more than $1,000, as I have been in contact with his sister who states that she can pay a bond of $1,000 or contribute to a bond of $1,000. Thank you.
All right, so there'll be $1,000 good bond, no further contact with Giovanna Baker, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Chandler.
Your Honor, I think the victim's on the Zoom as iPhone. I'm not sure if that's her.
If Ms. Baker is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. If you are on the line, you don't have to address the court. But if you would like to address the court, then I'm happy to hear what you have to say. Ms. Baker, doesn't appear that that if she's on the line that she wishes to speak. Anything further on Mr. Chandler?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Position 9 is next.
And
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
good afternoon. Pronounce your last name for me, please.
Ezechuku.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 22 CR 001742B with battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Second arrest, 2019 shoplifting, dismissed after PTR. He has a traffic hold out of Sandy Springs, but that's it.
All right, Ms. Tortorello,
Your Honor, I apologize. What position are we on?
position number 9.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Yes, Your Honor, I apologize. At this time, I would like to sound for victim Tanisha Ann Perry, if she's on the line. Okay. All right, Your Honor, for the battery family violence, a $10,000 surety bond. And this is due to the nature of the facts involving this offense. No contact with the victim. And her name is Tanisha Ann Perry. First name is T-A-N as in Nancy, E-I-S-H-A. And middle name is spelled A-N-N, and Perry is P-E-R-R-Y. That he take a one-day anger management course, no weapons, no drugs or alcohol, and no new violations of Georgia law. Your Honor, on March 27, 2022, around 2:16 a.m., an Officer T. Ruddock Turner of the Atlanta Police Department was dispatched to the Shell gas station at 608 14th Street Northwest in Atlanta, Georgia. Upon arrival, the officer spoke to victim Tanisha Perry, who advised that while she and the defendant, Stanley Ezechukwu, were inside a gold Kia parked at the gas station, he placed both of his hands around her neck and choked her, leaving scratch markings and imprints with bluish purple bruising on both the left side and right side of the victim's neck. The accused also grabbed the upper left arm of the victim while she attempted to exit the vehicle. The victim did have bluish purple discoloration bruising to the forefront and inside of her upper left arm. And both the victim and the defendant lived together, and all these events did occur in Fulton County, Georgia. Your Honor, we are opposed to a signature bond due to the very facts of this case. This is a very violent offense. It involves the defendant putting his hands around the victim and leaving bruises around her neck and her arm, preventing when she was trying to get out of the vehicle, he prevented her from doing so. And we understand that he only has 2 cycles. However, we are asking for that surety bond. We are also concerned that he's going to intimidate the victim while he's out on bond, as he knows her and he knows where she lives. And for this very reason, Your Honor, a $10,000 surety bond is more than reasonable. Nothing further.
Ms. Gant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Stanley Ezechukwu is 21 years old. He has been in the Atlanta area his entire life. He has family here, including his father and cousins, and he also informed me that his mother passed away last month. Your Honor, Mr. Ezechukwu, Your Honor, we are opposed to the stay away from Ms. Perry. They have been in a relationship for the past 4 years, and according to Mr. Ezechukwu, the address is 3165 Terrence Court. Mr. Ezechukwu completed high school. He is a business owner. He has been self-employed for the past 3 years at East Wall Mounting. Your Honor, he denies the allegations. He states that he was trying to restrain Ms. Tanisha Perry. He also informed me that Ms. Perry is in custody. Therefore, I was unable to reach out to her. He also informed me that she's not in custody relating to this matter, but for another issue, which is why we were unable to contact her. I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Ezechukwu's behalf. We did not hear about any convictions for violence whatsoever. They have been in a relationship for 4 years. We do not believe that there is sufficient basis for the state's contention that he will intimidate this witness. And if Your Honor determines that he is ineligible for a signature bond, then I'm requesting a bond of no more than $1,000. Thank you.
All right, it's going to be a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial, 1-day anger awareness class, no further contact with Ms. Perry, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. All right, good luck to you, sir.
Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor.
Yes, Ms. Gant.
May you order a one-time law enforcement escort? He has belongings still at that address.
Of course, one-time escort with police or law enforcement to retrieve any belongings.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Mr. Ezechukwu, I would advise you to remain, well, I do advise you to remain silent. The judge has ruled.
Yes, ma'am. I'm aware. May I go?
Okay.
Yes, sir. Hey, so
Mr. Ezechukwu, please remain silent, sir. The judge has ruled.
You've got a signature bond, Mr. Ezechukwu. So you can talk with Ms. Gant at a later time to discuss any concerns you might have about the case, okay?
no problem. Thank you so much.
Judge, is it through pre-trial, you said?
Say it again?
Is it through pre-trial?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Now let's see. Courtroom 2, the South Annex has one case they've requested that we hear. I'm not sure if And that's position number 7, position 17.
No, we still got quite a few more to go, Judge.
Okay. I understand there's quite a few more to go. They only have one, and I can dismiss them. If I can just go ahead and do this one, then I can let the South Annex go, and we can come back to courtroom 2 if that's all right.
I believe they have 2, Judge, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, but I believe that position 20, those charges have been upgraded to felonies, and is that not correct?
With Nubia Sanchez, Your Honor?
Position 20, I have, position 20 is now a felony for all charges per the jail. That's not the case?
If we are speaking about Nubia Sanchez, no.
Okay, so, and that was sent by Ms. Kim earlier, so I was going on that. All right, South Annex, I'm sorry, since you all have 2 there, courtroom 2 wants me to proceed, so I'm going to proceed with courtroom 2. I'll be back with you. All right, who do we have next, courtroom 2?
Next, we have position 8, Mr. Dorsey.
Who represents Mr. Dorsey?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Dorsey. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yeah, yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Dorsey. You've been charged in case 22 CR 001741A with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
It's his 3rd arrest. September 2021, shoplifting out of Union City. March 2021, trespass, disorderly conduct, dismissed.
Okay. Ms. Tortorella?
Yes, Your Honor. For the simple battery family violence, the state's asking for a $3,500 surety bond, that he have no violent contact with his mother, Mindy Hutchinson, and the first name spelled Mindi, last name is Hutchinson. That he take a 1-day anger management class, no weapons, no drugs or alcohol, and no new violations of Georgia law while he's out on bond. Your Honor, on March 26, 2022, around 12:15 p.m., a Corporal N. Key of the South Fulton Police Department was dispatched to 5469 Wexford Pass in South Fulton, Georgia. And Wexford, for the record, is WEXFORD, in reference to a fight call. Upon arrival, the officer made contact with the victim, Mindy Hutchinson, who advised that she and her son, defendant Kobe Dorsey, initially got into a verbal dispute over the victim taking the defendant's phone away from him. The dispute turned physical, where the victim stated that the defendant aggressively grabbed her by both of her arms and pushed her against the wall. The defendant did admit to grabbing the victim and pushing her away from him due to her aggression towards him. The defendant was arrested, and all these events did occur in Fulton County, Georgia. Your Honor, we're asking for a surety bond. As you've heard from pretrial, he has 3 cycles. He was arrested on March 23rd, 2021 for disorderly conduct, which was dismissed out of Clayton County. He has a possible open municipal case, which is a theft by shoplifting, which with the incident date of September 9th, 2021, with no disposition. And the victim does want no violent contact, Your Honor, and I believe she's here on the Zoom call. And for this reason, Your Honor, we do feel, just because he does pose a risk of possibly reoffending while he's out on bond, that a surety bond is more than justifiable for this case. Nothing further.
Ms. Hutchinson, I'll give you a chance to speak if you would like to in just a moment. So let me go to Ms.
Yes.
Gant first. Okay? Ms.
Yes,
Gant?
sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Kobe Dorsey is 20 years old. He has been in the Atlanta area for 11 years, along with his mother and his 2 sisters. Your Honor, Mr. Dorsey completed high school. He states that he is unemployed and has been so for a while. Therefore, he does not have the means to pay much, if anything, toward bond. He denies the allegations. He states that his mother came into his room, took his phone, grabbed him by the neck, and he also walked to get his phone. She jumped in front of him. He states that he was merely acting to remove himself from the situation. He denies making any physical contact with her. I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Dorsey's behalf. We are unopposed to the no violent contact order. My client does not have any convictions for violence. And of course, for the September 2021 theft case, that's not a concern for violence, and it is open. He's presumed innocent, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Hutchinson, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you can put your hand down, ma'am. Thank you. What would you like to tell the court?
There was an incident. My son doesn't drink like that, and somebody had given him some tequila, and I believe that the drink was actually spiked. He is not a violent person. He usually doesn't act like that. I believe the alcohol had some effect. Like I said, he's never been violent towards me. He's very respectful. He doesn't even curse in front of me. So I would like for him to be able to get out on a signature bond and be able to come home.
So he lives with you at the Wexford address?
Yes, sir.
And you're not afraid of him?
Oh, no, I'm not. No, I just, that day I was, because like I said, I've never seen him like that. There was an incident prior to that, but I believe that it was the alcohol and somebody had put something in his drink to make him act like that. He's very respectful young man.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. It's going to be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial, one-day anger awareness class, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond, no further violent contact with Ms. Hutchinson. So you're getting the opportunity, Mr. Dorsey, but you're not, you're under 21 anyway, so you're not supposed to be drinking alcohol, and you're certainly not supposed to be drinking it now that you've been ordered not to while you're out on bond. You understand me?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you, sir. Thank you, Ms. Hutchinson.
So I will be able to pick him up later on.
As soon as they process him out, you'll be able to get him.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate you, sir.
You're welcome. Have a good afternoon.
You do the same.
Thank you. Who do we have next?
Position 3, Mr. Browning.
Good afternoon, Mr. Browning. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Browning, you've been charged in case 22 CR 001753F with homicide by vehicle in the second degree and failure to yield right of way to a vehicle. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Second arrest, last was 2006. Failure to appear for expired or no license plate or decal. That's it.
All right, thank you. Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened on March 27th, 2022 at approximately 5:50 p.m. over at 1165 Donald Lee Hollowell Parkway in Atlanta, Georgia. It occurred when the defendant failed to yield to upcoming traffic after stopping at a stop sign and then drove into I believe it was a motorcycle driven by the victim, Mr. Edward Stephen. And when he struck his motorcycle, it caused Mr. Stevens' untimely demise. Although the defendant only has one prior arrest for an FTA, Your Honor, that is really not the whole story of this defendant. We actually pulled his driver's history, and his driver's history is absolutely atrocious. I'm just going to cover the last 10 years. So you can kind of get a picture of his history. He pled nolo in 2017, February 14th, 2017, to improper passing. That incident resulted in an accident according to the driver's history. Improper erratic lane change. He was convicted of that on March 14th, 2017. Seatbelt violation, that was a February 17th, 2017 no-low plea. Mandatory disqualification of his commercial license. That was a June 13th, 2017 conviction from the violations of improper passing on February 14th of 2017. A point suspension conviction on March 14th of 2017. Possession of an open container and obstructing an intersection on September 20th of 2016. That resulted in a no-low plea. Following too closely, he pled guilty to that on December 16th of 2015, an FTA on October 27th of 2015, a Georgia serious commercial disqualification on August 28th of 2015, failure to yield, that involved an accident. He pled no-low to that on June 12th, 2015. Following too closely, that resulted in an accident. He pled guilty on March 28th, 2013. Improper turn, that was a no-low plea on May 23rd of 2012. Then from 1988 to 2011, he has over 20 more traffic violations on his history. That's in addition to the FTA that pretrial mentioned from 2006 from the expired and no license from Riverdale Municipal Court. Your Honor, the history that this defendant has, including 3 accidents within the last 10 years, shows that this defendant was essentially an accident waiting to happen. In fact, he has 3 accidents in the last 10 years. Luckily, none of those involved a death. However, this was just inevitable based on this defendant's driver's history that we would be here today. And this finally did result in the death of this individual, Mr. Stephen. So the reason we are asking for the bond we're about to ask for is we just want the court to take into consideration this lengthy driving history that shows that this defendant had no business being behind the wheel of a car. We are asking for a $20,000 surety bond. That is $19,500 on the vehicular homicide and a $500 surety bond on the failure to yield. We are also asking for no driving and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Again, Your Honor, based on the Ayala factors, he is a danger to the community based on his history of driving. And we do have concerns of his risk of reoffense. And the fact remains that a person is dead because of this driving, which again, he has a history of not only commercial driving violations and disqualifications, but accident history that backs up that he is really an accident waiting to happen. And this did result in the death of this gentleman. We do have the family of Mr. Stephen here on Zoom, and I would like to sound for them in case they have something they would like to say in addition.
Okay, and it's my understanding that Ms. Hunt is on, and she's also indicated that other family members are on. I will get to you all in just a moment if you would like to have a word with the court, but let me first go to Ms. Gant.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Donnie Browning is 66 years old. He has been in the Atlanta area his entire life. He has community ties here, including his mother and his cousins. Your Honor, Mr. Browning completed college. He has a bachelor's science and business administration from Tennessee State. He informed me that he also played collegiate football while at Tennessee State. He is currently employed at GDOT as a property management specialist. He has been in this position for the past 3 years. Mr. Browning, while he regrets the outcome of this incident, he is disputing the allegations, Your Honor. He states that Mr. Stephen was speeding and that he lost control and slid under his car. He denies running a stop sign, Your Honor. I acknowledge my client's history, however, but we have not had any driving related offenses since 2017. That is 5 years ago, and he did plead no-low. I am requesting a signature bond, and if Your Honor is not inclined to grant a signature bond, I would ask for a bond of no more than $15,000 for driving by homicide and $500 for failure to yield right of way. We are opposed to the no driving condition. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Hunt, if you would like to address the court, I'll need for you to unmute yourself and I'll have to swear you in. Can you raise your right hand for me, ma'am? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. What would you like to tell the court?
I just would like to say, in response to the woman who just spoke, and I'm sorry if I don't remember your name, but are you suggesting that he keep his driving privileges? Just based on everything that has just been said for the past 10 years, he's been a reckless driver. And regardless to if Mr. Stevens first meeting or not, which I doubted, it still does not negate the fact that he is no longer here. His children can no longer see him. So I really.
Ms. Hunt, let me just tell you, Ms. Gann is just advocating for her client. I'm going to make the decision regarding that, okay?
Okay.
All right. So I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Ms. Gant, your client has his hand up. Would you like to instruct him?
Mr. Browning, I would advise you to remain silent at this time. Anything that you say can and will be used against you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to correct the prosecutor.
I would advise you to remain silent, Your Honor.
I
Sir.
do not have commercial driver's license. Never have I ever had commercial driver's license.
Thank you, sir. All right, Ms. Hunt, anything further, ma'am?
No.
Okay. Would anyone else from the family, I'm not sure who's on from the family, but if anybody else wants to address the court, I'm happy to listen. If not, that's fine too.
My two children are on, but I'm not sure if they would want to say anything. I'm sorry.
Okay, you're all right, Ms. Hunt. Okay. If not, Ms. Gant, Ms. Falk, anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, for the homicide by vehicle charge, a $4,000 good bond. For the failure to yield, a $1,000 good bond, which makes it a $5,000 good bond. No driving while out on bond. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond either. Okay. Ms. Hunt, again, sorry, I'm so sorry for your loss. Thank you for being here. Nothing further on Mr. Brownling. Good luck to you also, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Position 16. Come on, sir.
All right, so it's my understanding that we need a breakout room for position 16.
No,
Yes,
he's
Your Honor.
already done. Oh.
I think there's another issue that they're asking for a breakout room. We do not need the interpreter in the breakout room, do we?
Not for this short one.
Okay,
Yes.
so Ms. Kim, Ms. Falk, anyone else need to be in the breakout room? No? Okay, if you'll put us in a breakout room, please. All right, Madam Interpreter. Good afternoon, Mr. Mencius. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. We are conducting this calendar by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Buenas tardes, señor Mesías. Debido a la pandemia presente de COVID, tenemos que conducir esta audiencia por vía de esta plataforma de Zoom. ¿Está usted de acuerdo y quiere seguir adelante con su caso por vista de esta plataforma?
¿Me lo puede repetir?
Your Honor, the interpreter will repeat to Mr. Mesías. Buenas tardes, señor Mesías. Debido a la pandemia de COVID, tenemos que conducir esta audiencia por vía de video, ya sea por esta plataforma de Zoom. El juez quiere saber si usted está de acuerdo de seguir adelante con su caso de esta forma.
Sí, pues yo quiero estar libre. Yo no quiero estar libre de nada a nadie.
Interpreter needs a clarification. Repite de nuevo, señor, que no se escucha bien.
Yo quiero salir adelante.
I want to go forward. I would be able to leave this place.
Okay. We have, you've been charged in case 22 CR 001744E with one misdemeanor offense.
Usted ha sido imputado en el número de caso 22CR001744E con un delito menor y una ofensa.
We have had a discussion regarding this charge with your attorney and with the solicitor.
Usted pudo hablar con su abogado de oficio y también con la fiscal que trató el caso presente.
And the bond is going to be $1,000 good bond. No further contact with Sophia Alvarez. Stay away from Grady Hospital unless getting treatment. And no drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
Debido a aquello, el depósito de la fianza va a ser de $1,000 bajo aseguranza y de fe, es decir, a su propio favor.
¿Cuánto va a ser?
$1,000. Déjeme terminar. Que no puede tener como parte de la condición del depósito de la fianza, no puede tener ningún contacto con la víctima, o que se alega en este caso que es Sofía Álvarez. Al igual, tiene que mantenerse alejado del hospital de Grady, solo si necesita recibir tratamiento médico, una ocasión que necesita ir al hospital. Y también no puede consumir ningún alcohol o estupefacientes.
I'm sorry, Judge, can you please repeat the bond amount?
$1,000 good.
Thank you.
De fianza de $1,000 bajo fe.
Anything further on Mr. Mencius?
Señor Macías, ¿tiene alguna pregunta o algo más?
No, ya no.
Okay.
No, not anymore.
All right. Thank you, Madam Interpreter. We appreciate your help this afternoon.
You're welcome, Your Honor. Happy to help.
All right. Who do we have next?
Position 11, Mr. Hussey.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hussey. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are holding by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Can you hear me, Mr. Hussey?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
All right, you've been charged in case 22 CR 001746E with simple battery against a person who is pregnant. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Got 12 total. Last was 2008. Trespass, possession of tools for the commission of a crime conviction. Theft of lost mislaid property, 2 counts. 2 counts of giving false name, 2005 convictions. Got a simple battery conviction, 04. And an 01 parole violation, underlying charges robbery. And that conviction was from 1990 with an ag assault.
All right, Ms. Tortorello?
Yes, Your Honor. For the simple battery on a person who is pregnant, the state's asking for a $10,000 surety bond. The conditions is that he not have any contact with the victim, and her name is Raymona Warren. First name is spelled Raymona, and the last name is Warren, Warren. That he stay away from the address 522 English Avenue Northwest in Atlanta, Georgia. That he take a one-day anger management class, no weapons, no drugs or alcohol, and no new violations of Georgia law. Your Honor, on February 8th, 2022, an officer Gaines of the Atlanta Police Department responded to the incident location at 522 English Avenue Northwest in Atlanta, Georgia. Upon arrival, the officer made contact with victim Ramona Warren, who said she and her boyfriend, defendant LaShawn Hussey, had a physical altercation the night before. The victim said she was kicked in the back 2 times, hit on the back of the head, and that the defendant laid on top of her using his body weight to hurt her. The victim stated she is pregnant and lost fluid from her body when it happened. Victim advised she did not call 911 at the time because she did not want the defendant to get locked up. The victim confirmed the defendant's identity via a photograph, and all these events did occur in Fulton County, Georgia. Your Honor, we are concerned with the facts of these case. Honestly, Your Honor, the $10,000 surety bond is more than justifiable. This defendant knows the victim. There's potential of him intimidating her while he's out on bond. And we are reviewing this for a felony upgrade, depending on what happens to the baby inside her womb. Your Honor, not sure if the fetus has survived or not. Also, Your Honor, he has convictions. I'm sure you've heard it from pretrial criminal damage to property, first degree out of Fulton County Superior Court. He pled to that on December 10th, 2015. Simple battery, family violence. He pled to that on October 1st, 2004 out of Fulton County State Court. He also has a VOP on April 7th, 2005 out of Fulton County. We have not been able to contact the victim, and I'm not sure if she's here, but I would like to sound for her if possible, Your Honor. And I have nothing further. Is Miss Ramona Warren present at the Zoom? I don't hear her, Your Honor.
There being no response. Who's representing Mr. Hussey?
I am, Your Honor.
Okay, whenever you're ready, Ms. Gannon.
I am ready, Your Honor. Mr. LaShawn Hussey is 53 years old. He has been in the Atlanta area his entire life. Mr. Hussey completed the 10th grade. He works full-time maintenance at McDonald's. He has been in that position for the past 7 years. Mr. Hussey asked me to reach out to his landlord to confirm whether or not Ms. Warren lives at 522 English Avenue, and the landlord confirmed that she still does live there. Therefore, if there is a stay away request, we are unopposed to that, but we would ask for a one-time law enforcement escort. Mr. Hussey denies the allegations, and we are requesting a signature bond on his behalf, Your Honor. And if Your Honor is unable to grant a signature bond because he's ineligible, then I would ask for a bond of no more than $1,000. Thank you.
It's going to be a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial, one-day anger awareness class, no further contact with Ms. Warren, stay away from the English Avenue address, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Hussey.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Judge Morrow, would you grant a one-time law enforcement?
Of course, a one-time law enforcement escort to pick up any belongings that you may have at the English Avenue address. Mr.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Position 12, Mr. Johnson is next.
Good afternoon, Mr. Johnson. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
You doing okay, Deshaun?
I'm doing fine. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. And you agree to have your case heard by video, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, you've been charged in case 22 CR 001751G with battery family violence and simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
His 9th arrest. Last was 2017 probation violation. Not prosecuted out of Doraville. 2010 simple battery family violence dismissed. 06 DUI conviction, and a 03 trespass simple assault conviction.
Okay, Ms. Mitchell.
Yes, Your Honor, in this case, the defendant battered his girlfriend he used to live with, Miss Kayla Williams, common spelling, by spraying mace in her face and causing bruises to her face for reasons unknown based on the information we currently have. It started when Miss Williams tried to leave the room to get some air. The defendant didn't want her to leave because he was very controlling and has been controlling since they started dating. After Miss Williams said she was going to leave anyway, the defendant sprayed her with mace. Miss Williams ran from the room and broke the glass of the fire alarm to get the attention of someone. She received a laceration on her pinky as a result of breaking the fire alarm glass. Miss Williams stated that the defendant has a past of putting hands on her, but she's never called the police before. The state's bond recommendation in this case is going to be, as to count one, a $3,000 surety bond, count two, $2,000 surety, totaling a $5,000 surety bond. No further contact with Miss Kayla Williams. A stay away from the address 1419 Virginia Avenue, College Park, Georgia. 1-day anger awareness course, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. And the state would like to highlight reiterate defendant's simple assault conviction in 2003. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Johnson is 50 years old, and he does not oppose to stay away from 1419 Virginia Avenue. He does not oppose to no further contact with Kayla Williams, who is an ex-girlfriend. Indeed, it was Miss Kayla who has been drunken, and she was biting Mr. Johnson all night long, and Mr. Johnson just wanted to make her to stop biting him. And out of self-defense, he does not have, he's completely denying the allegation. And he has been here in Georgia for 50 years. He has 6 children, and 3 of them are still minor, 13, 12, 11. So he still has to take care of them. And he has a parent and siblings living here in Georgia. And also, he has been working for Westin Atlanta as a valet driver for the last 2 years. He has a GED, and before that, he's been working for 30 years to install cubicles, desks, and office desks, and things like that. So he's not a flight risk. He's not a danger to the community. Trespass happened 2003, more than almost 20 years ago. Your Honor, we would like to request for a signature bond for his allegation, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, so for each offense, it's going to be a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial. It makes it a total of a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial, 1-day anger awareness class, no further contact with Ms. Williams, stay away from the Virginia Avenue address, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck to you, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, sir.
Next, we have Mr. Meadows, position 15.
Good afternoon, Mr. Medeiros. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. You agree to have your case heard by video?
You have to say something. You got to speak up.
Did you hear my question, sir? We're doing this by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Whose client is this? Is this your client, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And you were able to interview him?
Yes.
All right. Is there something going on with Mr. Medeiros that I need to know?
Not that I know of, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Medeiros, did you hear my question? The question is, do you agree to have your case heard by video?
I agree to have my case heard by video.
Okay, thank you. You've been charged in case 22 CR 001743A with discharge of a firearm on or near a public highway or street and reckless conduct. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
6 total. Last was 2017 obstruction. It was amended to interference with lawful occupation conviction. 2016 FTA not prosecuted. 2015 DUI 2 counts, dead docket. 2015 cruelty in the first, 2 counts of simple battery family violence that was dismissed. And a 2012 battery family violence cruelty in the third. It just says transferred to state court.
Okay. Ms. Mitchell?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, the defendant shot a gun in the neighborhood within 50 yards of Roswell Road, right across the street from a busy shopping plaza. We're currently waiting on the incident report for more information. But based on that, the state's bond recommendation is going to be, as to count one, $2,500 surety, count two, $2,500 surety, totaling a $5,000 surety bond, a stay away from the address 5555 Roswell Road, Sandy Springs, Georgia, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. And Your Honor, the defendant may be a flight risk based on his FTA in 2016. Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, so the reckless conduct is the discharge of the firearm, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, he is recommended for unsecured judicial relief by pretrial service. And he is 31 years old. And also, he would like to emphasize that he has a permit for his gun. He is allowed to own his permit, gun with his permit. And also, it was not on the public. It was actually, he was doing it on his own property, which was not that close to Roswell Road. So he was also making sure that it was not dangerous. So he's basically denying reckless conduct, and also firearm is absolutely not necessary because he has a license to own the gun. He has been here in Georgia for about 18 years. He has 3 children, and he has parents and brothers here in Georgia. He's been working for his father, who's working as a mechanic for the last 10 years. He has a solid job. He finished up to 11th grade education, and he's eager to get out of the jail because he is a responsible father who has to pay for child support, and he does not want to be late on making a payment to support his children. So please give him a signature bond as pretrial service recommended. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, it's going to be a $2,500 signature bond through the jail on each charge. So it makes it a total of a $5,000 signature bond through the jail. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Medeiros. Who's next?
Position 2, Mr. Browser.
Good afternoon, Mr. Broussard. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 22 CR 001754C with battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
For Broussard, 12 total. Last arrest was 2020 ag assault. That's 20 CP 191677. Was arrested in 2018 for battery family violence, cruelty in the third, conviction not a cause. He went to felony first appearance earlier, got no bond.
Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. This is one of actually 3 incidents involving the same victim for which the defendant was arrested on this booking number. This incident happened on January 3rd of 2020 and 21, excuse me. And officers spoke to Ashley Williams, the victim in this case, over at 138 Lawson Street. She stated that the defendant had picked her up from the Shell gas station on Parson Street. She got into a verbal dispute with the defendant, who told her to get out of the vehicle. After Miss Williams refused, the defendant pulled her out of the vehicle and punched her in the left eye with a closed fist. At the time of this incident, Miss Williams was pregnant. She was 3 months along at the time, and officers were able to observe a visible bruise to her left eye. The reason it's family violence is because she shares other children with the defendant. As Mr. Howard stated, this is the defendant's, I believe, 11th or 12th cycle. He had a giving false name, furnishing alcohol to a minor in 2004, FTA in 2009, a probation violation and criminal trespass in 2010. These are all convictions, Your Honor. Marijuana in 2010, an FTA in 2010. Most importantly is that Cobb County conviction for battery, family violence, and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. That was a conviction on January 9th, 2019 that was against a different victim. However, that does set our office up to be able to transfer this case to the DA's office as a felony. We were able to transfer his other 2 cases that originally came down as misdemeanors, 2 felonies, to the DA's office. In one of those cases, the defendant was charged with pointing a gun at another, and that involved Miss Ashley Williams as well. That was a March 10th, 2021 case where he was alleged to have pointed a handgun at her. That was transferred as an aggravated assault. Then he had an April 14th, 2021 family violence battery where he struck her in the head and the face with a closed fist, which knocked out 2 of her braces attachments and caused bleeding from her nose and mouth. The DA's office accepted that case as well as an aggravated assault. That is on top of this 20 CP 191677 case. That's an aggravated assault from May of 2020, where the defendant received a $10,000 bond with a no further contact from Ashley Williams and no firearms and an anger management course. That case involved him, I believe, and I can go back and double check, pointing a handgun at Miss Williams again. So we have 3 current cases, 1 prior outstanding charge, all of which are going to the DA's office now that we understand that he has a prior Cobb County family violence conviction. And I cannot state strongly enough how much of a danger this defendant is to this victim at this point. He has 4 current open cases, 1 of which is a bond violation, and he has a previous family violence battery against a different victim from 2019 in Cobb County. If I could ask for no bond, I would, but this is a misdemeanor, so I can't. So what I am asking for is a $5,000 cash bond. He has no bond in felony division. They absolutely had the right idea on that case because I don't know what he would do if he gets out. So we are asking for a $5,000 cash bond on this case due to the severe danger that he now presents this victim.
Thank you, Ms. Well. Ms. Gann.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Rashard Broussard is 36 years old. He has been in the Atlanta area his entire life. He has significant community ties here, including his mother and a 2-year-old that he shares with Ms. Williams. Mr. Broussard completed high school. He is self-employed and has been so. He owns Superior Moving Solutions. He also manages the Atlanta Pro Movers Company. He employs 8 to 12 people on a daily basis. He denies these allegations, Your Honor. He states that these allegations are false. He states that he has not seen Ms. Williams in over a year and that these allegations arise from his attempts to gain custody of his child. She does not want him to have custody. He states that he has not seen his child in over a year. He was unaware of these warrants. And while I acknowledge my client's history, I would bring to the court's attention that these open cases involving Ms. Williams are just that open, they're allegations. And again, he states that these are false allegations arising from a custody dispute. I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Broussard's behalf. And if the judge determines, or if Your Honor determines that he is ineligible, then a bond surety of no more than $2,500. Thank you.
All right, so it's going to be a $7,500 good bond, no further contact with Ashley Williams, stay away from the Lawson Street address, third-party transfer of the child for visitation, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Ms. Falk? You're on mute. You're on mute, Ms. Falk.
My apologies, Your Honor. We just have one clarification, and that's to the address for the stay away. The stay away address, even though the event happened at that address, the stay away address is from, if I could just pull that up for a moment. It's from an address at Martin Luther King Junior Drive, which is the last address of this victim. Let's see. And that is where we're asking that the stay away be from. That address is, let's see, 1418 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, Southwest Atlanta.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything further?
Nothing further from the defense, Your Honor.
All right.
Nothing
Good luck
from
to you, Mr. Broussard. Thank you. What do we have next?
Position 19, Mr. O'Neill.
Can I ask what's a good bond?
It's a surety bond, Mr. Broussard.
10%.
Good afternoon, Mr. O'Neill. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. O'Neill. You've been charged in case 22 CR 001748A with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Counted 6 total. He was arrested on the 3rd of this month. Criminal damage to property, 2nd degree. He's out on pretrial for that. September 2021, disorderly conduct. Possession of drug-related objects, open. August 2021, trespass. Conviction out of Eastman, Georgia. May 2021, arrested out of Dublin, Georgia for battery. I think that's open. December 2020, trespass, family violence, disorderly conduct out of Dublin, Georgia.
Okay, Ms. Mitchell?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, the defendant criminally trespassed at the Wendy's located on 1568 Holcomb Bridge Road, Roswell, Georgia, by refusing to leave after being asked to do so multiple times by the Wendy's manager and by the officers that later arrived on the scene. The state's bond recommendation in this case is a $2,000 surety bond, a stay away from the Wendy's on Holcomb Bridge Road, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. The state is concerned about defendant's risk of reoffending, being that the defendant currently has 4 open cases, and he was also, well, the 4 open cases is heard from pretrial, and that the defendant was also convicted of criminal trespass in 2021. So based on that, we are recommending the $2,000 surety bond, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. O'Neill is 27 years old, and he actually was born and raised here in Georgia for 27 years. However, last couple of years, he has been homeless. So we recommend it for social worker services so he can get some help to get a housing program. And also, he has not been employed for a while, so he needs some help to find a job as well. He has a GED from Job Corps, and he was at Wendy trying to find a job, and he wanted to kind of be persistent with job finding, but it didn't work out well. What he needs is a job. And also I recommend for him to have behavioral health evaluation by social worker services to find out if there's any other issues to be addressed. Thank you, Your Honor. We would like to request for a signature bond because there's no way he's going to be able to pay for any bond at this point. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, it's a $3,000 signature bond through the jail, providing him social worker services, and also a behavioral health evaluation. Stay away from the Wendy's at 1568 Roswell Road. 1568 Holcomb Bridge Road in Roswell. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm going to let you out, Mr. O'Neill, but you can't go back to that Wendy's, okay?
Hey, what them people call me back?
Well, you can't go back to that Wendy's, okay? So if you go back to the Wendy's, they're going to call the police and charge you with criminal trespass again, okay? All right, good luck to you, sir.
Position 13, Mr. Mallard.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mallard. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Mallard, you've been charged in case 22 CR 001757J with obstruction of a law enforcement officer and loitering or prowling. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
No, I got first arrest.
Ms. Mitchell?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, the defendant was seen standing at 708 Woodbend Court, Fairburn, Georgia, with Mr. Riker, spelled Ryker, Collins, common spelling. Mr. Collins was selling his dirt bike to the defendant. The defendant claimed to live at the location, but officers later discovered that he did not. The defendant refused to obey officers' commands and did not cooperate in providing his name. Officers believe that the defendant was involved in multiple incidents in the area for stolen off-road dirt bikes and chose the incident location due to easy escape routes through wood lines. The state's bond recommendation is going to be, as to count one, a $2,000 signature bond, as to count two, $2,000 signature bond, totaling a $4,000 signature bond, a stay away from the 708 Woodbend Court address, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, you object to any of that, Ms. Kim?
No, Your Honor.
All right,
Nothing
so
further.
it'll be a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial. Stay away from the Woodland Bend court address. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Your
Yes,
Honor.
$2,000 for each count, so $4,000 total. All right, who do we have next?
Positions 18, Mr. Mohammed.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mohammed. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir, I agree.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mohammed. You've been charged in case 22 CR 001756C with public drunk, simple battery, and fare evasion. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
12 total. Last arrest was 2020, probation violation. 2019, simple battery no low. 2018, 2 counts of simple battery family violence conviction. (2018) simple battery conviction, criminal trespass family violence conviction, 2 counts. Entering auto conviction, theft by taking conviction, 2016, out of Cobb County. And I think he's on probation for entering auto. 2017, they gave him 5 years. He should be getting off probation next month. That's it.
Mitchell?
Your Honor, in this case, the defendant appeared to be intoxicated and smelled of alcohol at the MARTA 5-Point station located on 30 Alabama Street Southwest, Atlanta, Georgia. The defendant battered Miss Paola, spelled Paola, Covarrubias, spelled Covarrubias, by spitting in her face. While being escorted out of MARTA by MARTA PD, the defendant fare evaded back into the station. The state's bond recommendation in this case is going to be, as to count one, $1,000 surety, count two, $2,000 surety, and count three, $500 surety, totaling $3,500 surety bond. No further contact with Miss Paola Covarrubias. Stay away from stay away from MARTA 5-Point station, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. The state's concern here is defendant's risk of reoffending. The defendant is a convicted felon with a violent history, as heard from pretrial, where he pled no low to simple battery in 2021 and was convicted of 2 counts of simple battery family violence in 2018, convicted of another simple battery in 2018, and a willful obstruction of law enforcement officer by use of threats or violence in 2015. So that's going to be the basis of our recommendation, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. He is 24 years old, and he claims that he was not drunken. He just had an empty bottle in his bag, and it was inside of his backpack, and they kind of opened it up to verify, but he was not drunken. That's what he claims. And also, He graduated from high school. He has a diploma, and he currently lives with his grandmother and mother and father. So he has a strong ties to the community. He does not know Mr. Paula Kovarov-Bias at all. He's a stranger, so he's not afraid of having no further contact with him. And yet, he needs to go to 5 Points Motor Station because that's the only transportation he has to go to work. He works at Chicken Gus Fried Restaurant where he cleans up the restaurant and he prepares the plates as a server. He would like to keep his job and he want to be able to go back and forth. So if Your Honor has to enforce stay away, it has to be stay away from any other place except the way when he goes to work. That would be my condition, our condition request. Other than that, we would like to request for signature bond, and if it is not grantable, we would like to request for $1,000 surety bond, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, so for the public drunk, $500 good bond, simple battery, $2,000 good bond, fair evasion, $500 good bond, making it a total of a $3,000 total good bond. If there is a martyr suspension in place, he's to honor the martyr suspension. No further contact with the alleged victim, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. All right, good luck to you, Mr. Muhammad.
So for my time is $3,000 good bond altogether.
That's correct.
I'll pay that through the jail.
Ms. Kim, you can talk to him about how to
Yes.
get that paid,
Yes.
okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who do we have next?
Position 22, Mr. Thompson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Thompson. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Thompson, you've been charged in case 22 CR 001755J for simple battery, family violence, and criminal trespass. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Fifth arrest. Last was September 2021. Criminal trespass. 2013 probation violation. Got a forgery first degree conviction from 2012. Robbery conviction from 2010. And that trespass is open.
Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. This occurred on March 26th of 2022. Officers initially responded to the Atlanta Fire Station number 30 at 10 Cleveland Avenue and then spoke to Shatavia Hollinger. That is Shautavia Hollinger, Hollinger. And that was in reference to the defendant, who is the father of her 2 children. She stated he hit and scratched her with his fist after he had been drinking. The incident actually occurred at her apartment at 2980 Jonesboro Road Southwest. When the victim confronted the defendant about information that she found on his phone, he punched a hole in the apartment wall. She then insisted that he leave and stated she did not want to be with him anymore. At that point, Ms. Hollinger stated he struck her with his fists. Officers did get in contact with the defendant. The defendant initially denied hitting her, but admitted to being upset and punching the wall, and then admitted to being in a physical, as he described it, scuffle with Ms. Hollinger. Pretrial has stated accurately the fact that the defendant had a prior conviction for robbery. He was actually given first offender, and then the first offender was revoked in February 2013. His probation violation in February of 2013 actually revoked him to 2 years into prison. Additionally, that 2021 criminal trespass was actually a criminal trespass against an ex-girlfriend where it alleged he damaged her door by kicking it in after she stated he could not enter the residence after a verbal dispute. So I'm sure, as Your Honor is aware, there's some echoes here from a previous case where he is currently out on a $2,000 surety bond on that case. So within the span of a year, he received a $2,000 surety bond for a criminal trespass, alleging that he had a verbal altercation with an ex-girlfriend, which resulted in violence and damage to her property. And now we have another verbal dispute that gets out of hand involving a criminal trespass as well as a simple battery. For that reason, the state is requesting a $5,000 surety bond. That's going to be $3,000 for the simple battery and $2,000 for the criminal trespass. We are also requesting a no further contact with Ms. Hollinger and to stay away from 2980 Jonesboro Road Southwest, as well as one-day anger management and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. Ms. Hollinger, I believe, is on the line and would like to, I don't know if she would like to speak, but we would ask that the court sound for her. However, I will state again that no matter Ms. Hollinger's feelings about the issue, the fact remains that we do have that 2021 criminal trespass involving a lot of the same kind of facts, and now this case, which causes the state some concern for risk of reoffense as well as further injury to Ms. Hollinger or to another party.
Thank you, Ms. Falk. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Thompson is 30 years old, and he and Ms. Hollinger are actually living together at 2980 Jonesboro Road, which is the incident address. So we would like to request for no further violent contact instead of stay away or no further contact, since the complaining witness, Ms. Hollinger, is not afraid of him and they want to raise their children together, two of them. So we would like to request that court would consider his Ms. Hollinger's willingness to accept him back home. And also he has 3 children, 9, 2, and 3 months baby, and he has parents and brothers here in Georgia, and he has 2 jobs. One, daytime, he works at Popeye as a cook and chief lead chef during the daytime, and then at night he also worked at Kroger. He worked as a forklift operator, and he has a high school diploma. And Ms. Hollinger and Mr. Thompson, they dream to have their own business. Mr. Thompson becomes a barber to cut hairs, and Ms. Hollinger she's really good at beauty, eyelash. She's a beautician, so they would like to have their own dream together. So we would like to request for signature bond, and yet because of the open pending case, if this is not grantable, we would like to request for a maximum $1,000 surety bond, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Hollinger, if you're on the line and you would like to address the court, I will need you to, are you able to activate it? Is this you on the iPhone, Ms. Hollinger?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to activate your camera for me?
1 second, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's all right.
No, I'm not able to do, I don't know what's going on with the video.
So you have the camera on there, you just don't know how to operate it? Are you there, Ms. Hollinger? Ms. Hollinger? I still see her iPhone there, I just don't know if she can hear us. Have you spoken to her, Ms. Kim?
No, not yet, Your Honor.
We have, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Falcon, maybe she's logged off and is trying to log back in. And what did she relate to you?
She essentially stated that she does want contact because they do have children together, and this was the first incident of violence against her. However, as the state did point out, we do have that 2021 criminal trespass against a different girlfriend involving a $2,000 surety bond.
Okay, looks like she's coming on now. All right, can you hear me, Ms. Hollinger? Okay, you have to unmute yourself now.
Can you hear me?
Okay, there you go. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, what would you like to tell the court?
I would just like to, the incident that happened, it was just a big misunderstanding. Mr. Thompson works long hours. Both of our children were sick. He came home, and due to me having lack of sleep, being up with 2 sick children, he decided to take over and, you know, help me out with the children. So with him getting off 3 o'clock that morning, he hadn't had any sleep either. So emotions were just high. And I feel like, you know, with us having lack of sleep, and that wasn't the time for me to have that conversation with him. The conversation just escalated into something. Nothing like this has ever happened before. He's a great father. He's the sole provider of our family. We have a 2-year-old and a 3-month-old. And I recently just got a phone call this morning that he's being granted full custody of his 9-year-old as well. So I would like for him to have a signature bond so that he can get out and continue to provide for his family and do what he needs to do to be able to get custody of his 9-year-old, because she's in a difficult situation right now. He's the only one that can get her.
Okay.
And the other case with the other case.
You don't have to tell me about the other case. That's okay. Fine. You're not afraid of him?
No, sir.
Okay. Anything further, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor, just one question.
Yes, Ms. Falk, go ahead.
Well, actually, two. Ms. Hollinger, is it correct that the defendant did punch the wall of your home?
Yes, ma'am.
And is it correct that he did strike you as well?
No, ma'am.
So you're stating you lied to me?
Stop it. Go back. No, ma'am. We both were just going back and forth. He never physically punched me. No, ma'am.
So if there is a body cam, you're stating that it would not show you telling the police that he struck you?
No.
Okay. That's all for the state, Your Honor.
All right. So for the simple battery, it's going to be a $3,000 signature bond through the jail. For the criminal trespass, a $2,000 signature bond through the jail, making for a total of a $5,000 signature bond through the jail. No further violent contact with Ms. Hollinger. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Thompson. Thank you, Ms. Hollinger.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Who do we have next?
Judge, quick announcement for position 1. Has appearance been waived?
Position.
You've already addressed position 1, Your Honor, in the breakout.
Yeah, we've addressed that in the breakout. It's going to be a $5,000 good bond for each of the offenses, making for a total of a $10,000 good bond. Mental health evaluation, and stay away from the alleged victims, Wilson and Reels, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Okay, thank you, Judge. And we're completed here in courtroom 2.
Okay, can I go through can I go through the calendar just real quick?
Yes. Go potty.
You're still with us, ma'am. Okay. Let's see, position 17, is that at the South Annex?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and position 20?
Yes, sir. That's at South Annex as well.
Okay, position 21, Stinson?
South Annex.
Mr. Stinson's there too?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and position 4, Camilla Kane?
Yes, Your Honor.
So we have 4 at the South Annex?
4, 21, 20, and 17, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. Thank you, courtroom 2. We appreciate it. Y'all have a good afternoon.
Thank you. You do the same, Judge.
Okay, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Before you, Your Honor, is position 17, Ms. Moulton.
Good afternoon, Ms. Moulton. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
She does.
Ms. Moulton, you've been charged in case 22 CR 001747G with criminal trespass and disorderly conduct. Mr. Howard, is there a history?
The second, last was 2017 trespass out of Griffin. She got an FTA warrant out of Griffin. That's all.
Ms. Mitchell?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, on August 23rd of 2020, the defendant, her boyfriend, and her boyfriend's sisters tried to attack Miss Cassandra, spelled Casandra, Culpepper, spelled Culpepper, at her apartment located at 751 Fairburn Road, Southwest, Atlanta, Georgia. Ms. Culpepper advised that there was an ongoing situation in DeKalb County where the defendant jumped on her. The day of the incident, Ms. Culpepper was told UPS was at the door. When she went to peek and open the door, it was the defendant, her boyfriend, and her boyfriend's sisters. Ms. Culpepper tried to close the door, but the group of people tried to force entry into the apartment to assault her, which made her fear for her safety. There was damage done to the door due to the defendant kicking it, and the door needed to be replaced. The group did not gain entry into the apartment. When they heard Ms. Culpepper was calling the police, the group retreated and someone in the group fired a gun. However, Ms. Culpepper wasn't able to see who exactly fired the gun. A shell casing was found. Ms. Culpepper's daughter and son were in the apartment at the time of the incident. Your Honor, the state's bond recommendation is going to be, well, there is a current bond of $5,000 surety, and the state requests that that bond remain the same with no further contact with Ms. Culpepper. Stay away from her apartment, addressed at 751 Fairburn Road, a one-day anger awareness course, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. Your Honor, we'd like to highlight the FTA the defendant had, the defendant's outstanding warrant for FTA out of Griffin, Georgia, as stated by pretrial. Our victim advocate also had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Culpepper, and she stated that she has not had any contact with the defendant since this incident, but she's still looking to press charges. And I believe she is on the Zoom if Your Honor would like to sound for her when you're ready.
Thank you, Ms. Mitchell. Mr. Lewis?
Thank you, Judge. First and foremost, Your Honor, I heard a statement read by, I believe that's Madam Prosecutor there, Judge. Where does that statement, is that a part of the warrant, Judge?
Ms. Mitchell?
Which statement?
The entire statement you've just read to the court?
I believe it was the police report.
Okay. Judge, of course, you know we're going to object to it, and had we known it was a police report, we would have objected prior to now. We assumed that we were getting some statements from the warrant. Judge, we're going to deny everything that was in that statement is non-factual and not supported by any facts that are in evidence. Your Honor, my client's 21 years of age. I believe there was a failure to appear warrant out of Griffin, and we believe that failure to appear warrant has been removed from the system. I don't know that for sure. I'm sure that pretrial can check and find that out. Judge, my client moved during the period in time of COVID, and some items went to one location instead of at her present location. My client is 21 years of age, Judge. She lives on McDaniel Street at an address different than that of Ms. Culpepper. If we accept the recitation that the statement gave, that the state gave about Ms. Culpepper not having any contact with the defendant thus far, we support that statement as being absolutely true. Judge, my client has a general education diploma. This incident occurred some time ago, Judge. So we would agree to the stay away and the no contact. My client is a lifelong resident of the state of Georgia. She has 2 little kids. I'm sorry, 2 part-time jobs, Judge. One at PSI Security and another one at USA Deli. She has a 4-year-old son who she is the primary caregiver for. Judge, I've been hearing you during this entire call talking about signature bonds with dollar amounts, and I have been stuck in my brain on UJRs. I don't know which one is actually applicable in misdemeanor court, because it's been a while since I've done a first appearance misdemeanor court. But I would ask the court to give a UJR or a sign-on bond. My client does qualify for public defense services, and that tells you what her income looks like, even having the 4-year-old. If not that, Judge, I would ask you to give the absolute lowest surety bond that you feel comfortable with. I would ask you to not impose any requirements of anger management. That would, Judge, to impose that condition would assume facts that this young lady is guilty. But if she is not guilty, an anger management course is just a burden added to her simply because you received an allegation. And I would submit to the court that at this point in time, that's all you got is an allegation. You don't have any facts, you don't have any trials, you don't have any convictions, and you don't have any admissions. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lewis. Let's see, is Ms. Culpepper on the line? If you are on the line and wish to address the court, you will have to activate your camera, unmute yourself, and I'll have to swear you in. Ms.
Well,
Culpepper?
I think I am. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, Ms. Culpepper.
Okay, yes, I am unmuted. I'm trying to activate the camera to live. It's not letting me, unfortunately.
Okay, there you go.
There
All
we
right, raise your right hand for me, ma'am.
Yes.
Do you affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, nothing but the truth.
All right, what do you want to tell the court?
Yes, I have not had any contact with her, period. But at this time, only reason why I said I do want to press charges is because this time, at the end of the day, I had to come out of my pocket to replace a door that her and the other defendant that I was not able to go into Zoom court
Judge,
with.
we're going to object to this. We're going to cite to capacity. It has nothing to do with the factors of bond.
I want restitution.
I'm gonna let her speak. Go ahead.
All right.
Even though that's my niece, I understand that. But what they came to my house and did was really uncalled for when her and the other defendants started this second session of an incident that took place. They should have never came to my house, period. They started it. It should have been left at the Decatur location where they started it at, but they chose to come to my house after they started something and, you know, mess up my door. I had to come out my pocket with that. If I could get restitution back, that would be fine. But other than that, yes, I do want to press charge because ain't no one paid for my door. I had to come out of my pocket. And not only that, my life was in jeopardy when they chose to shoot. And thank God the bricks caught the bullet from going in my door. So with that being said, I love her to death, but death don't love me when you played at my door.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Culpepper. We appreciate you being here this afternoon.
You're welcome.
It's gonna be $1,000 signature bond per charge, which makes it a total of a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. No further contact with Ms. Culpepper. Stay away from the 751 Fairwind Road address. No drugs, alcohol, or
I mean
weapons.
to cut you off, Your Honor, but I'm no longer at that location no more. They don't even know my location. So just stay out of contact with me in public because they'll never know my location or where I stay at.
Okay.
But just
Culpepper. So there's no further contact with you, which means that wherever you are, they're not to be, or she's not to be.
Thank
you.
We'll skip to that, Judge.
All right.
Well, we'll skip to that for respect my client. I don't know the other people she's talking about.
Right. I understand. Okay. Good luck to you, Ms. Moten.
Next, we have position 20, Ms. Sanchez.
client is Ms. Sanchez?
Hello.
Who's representing Ms. Sanchez?
That's me, Judge.
Oh, okay. Good afternoon, Ms. Sanchez. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we are conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
She does, Judge.
Thank you. You've been charged, Ms. Sanchez, in case 22 CR 001749D with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Oh, I got first arrest.
Ms. Mitchell?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, on October 29th of 2021, the defendant battered the father of her children, Mr. Herberto, spelled Heriberto, Arias, spelled Arias, by striking him twice, once on the arm and once on the cheek. The defendant admitted to hitting Mr. Arias twice first. The state's bond recommendation in this case is going to be a $2,000 surety bond, no further contact with Mr. Arias, third-party transfer of their children, a stay away from the address 1020 Piedmont Avenue, Northeast, Atlanta, Georgia, a one-day anger awareness course, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Have you spoken with Mr. Arias?
I believe our victim advocate has spoken with him, and he states that he's currently in a relationship and that they live together with their two children. And Your Honor, I believe he's on Zoom. So if you'd like to sound for him when you're ready.
Okay. Let me just make sure he's, Mr. Arias, are you present? Roberto Arias. All right, go ahead, Mr. Lewis.
Judge, I'm gonna ask that question again that I asked at the beginning of our last one. Where is this information coming from that Madam Prosecutor reads? And I'm asking that because we don't have the warrant. So we just want to know how to classify what we've been hearing.
That this information is going to be based on the warrant.
Okay, all right. Judge, it's important that question have been answered because my client doesn't live with this man. In fact, there isn't even a legitimization order that exists between my client and this man. And so what the state is telling us is that she got some lies in her warrants. My client has never been arrested before in her life, Judge. We object to any third party transfer being ordered at all because there won't be any transfer of her children to anyone else. She is 32 years of age, Judge.
Mr. Lewis, I don't mean to cut you off, but does she have any reason to be around Mr. Arias?
No.
Okay. No, she's not objecting to no further contact.
Right.
I'm gonna
Yes,
give her.
sir.
And again, I hate to cut you off, but I'm gonna give her a signature bond. Okay, this is her.
All right, that works, Judge.
The $2,000 signature bond through pretrial. No further contact with Mr. Arias. I guess she has no problem staying away from the 1020 Piedmont Avenue address. Is that her address or is that somebody else?
That's not her address, Judge.
Okay, so she's to stay away from that address and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Okay?
Sounds great.
Your Honor, are we doing the anger awareness course as well?
Not for this case, no. Thank you. All right, thank you. Good luck to you.
Now, Judge, that's going to conclude my business for the day. It is good seeing you. It's been, what, 2 or 3 years?
It's been a little while. Good to see you also.
All right.
I hope you're taking care.
Yes, sir. May I be excused?
Yes, have a good afternoon.
You as well. Take care.
Thank you.
Lawyer's position 21, Ms. Stinson.
Good afternoon, Ms. Stinson. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Ms. Stinson, you've been charged in case 22 CR 001750Y with battery. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Second arrest. 2010 misdemeanor possession of marijuana. It was dismissed.
Okay, Ms. Mitchell?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, the defendant battered Miss Athese, spelled Atheece,
Benton by striking her in the face with a closed fist, causing bruising to her face. The defendant attacked Ms. Benton from behind while she was walking away, and they began fighting. While fighting, Mr. Antoine Moten, who is the parent of the same child to Ms. Benton and the boyfriend to the defendant, struck Ms. Benton in the face with a firearm. Ms. Benton was left with a bruised eye that was closed shut and other cuts and bruises on her face from the physical dispute with the defendant. Your Honor, based on the nature of these allegations, our bond recommendation is going to be a $3,000 surety, no further contact with Ms. Benton. Stay away from the address 392 Boulevard Northeast, Atlanta, Georgia, a one-day anger awareness course, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Stinson is 32 years old, and she has lived here in Georgia all her life. She has no child, but her parents and her siblings are all here in Georgia, and he has a job. He has been working as a Grady nursing support technician for about 10 plus years. So she's been doing that ever since she graduated from high school, and then she got 6 months technical college course. After that, she's been working. So she has a strong ties to the community. She's not a flight risk, and this is almost first offense, except the one that was dismissed a really, really long time ago. So we would like to request for a signature bond, as she is completely denying the allegation. She does not, that place, 1867, the 392 Boulevard, that's kind of like a public parking lot. She does not live there. The complaining witness does not live there. So there's no point of having stay away. She just has to go there to get her car, and because that's where she parked her car. No further contact is fine with us. Thank you, Your Honor. We would like to request for a signature bond.
All right, so a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial. No further contact with Ms. Benton. Stay away from the 392 Boulevard Northeast address. You can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings that she may have there. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Stinson.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, we have position number 4, Ms. Kane. Please, no talking, young lady. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Ms. Kane. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Okay.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 22 CR 001737E with battery and simple battery. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Oh, first arrest.
Mr. Tortorello?
Yes, Your Honor. For the battery charge, the state's recommending a $5,000 surety bond. And for the simple battery charge, a $3,000 signature bond. So it'll be a $8,000 split bond. However, Your Honor, the state's not opposed to a signature bond for this case. That the conditions for the bond will be no contact with the victim, and her name is Tatiana Johnson. First name is spelled Tatyanna, and the last name Johnson, a traditional spelling. That she take a one-day anger management class, no weapons, no drugs or alcohol, and no new violations of Georgia law. Your Honor, on January 11th, 2022, around 5:15 p.m., Detective B. Porter of the Atlanta Police Department arrived to her extra job at Villas at Lakewood, located at 1700 Gibbon Road, that's spelled G-I-B as in boy, E-N for the record, Southwest in Atlanta, Georgia, 30315. Upon arrival, the detective was advised by Lisa Compton, the property manager at the apartment complex, that she had received a call from a Taquisha Hudson, the mother of victim Tatiana Hudson, that the victim had been jumped by a group of girls that came from apartment 613. When the detective arrived to the call, she observed a large group of people standing around, yelling and cursing at each other. The officer asked what had transpired and was advised by a young juvenile boy that he was coming home from school when he was getting near his apartment at 613 and was confronted by some high school boys that started fighting him for no reason. As the juvenile was fighting, a Chelsea Tarver, spelled Chelsie, and the last name is T as in Tom, A-R-V as in Victor, E-R for the record. Defendant Camille Kane and a Haley Butler, first name spelled Hailey, and Butler is the traditional spelling for the record, came from apartment 613 and aided the young juvenile in the fight. The victim said that she saw her best friend engaged in the fight and went to pull her away when she was hit by an unknown person. The victim advised that she was pinned down and attacked and could not identify who had pinned her down. The victim sustained marks to her face and her hair weave was pulled out. Chelsea Tarver and Haley Butler also sustained injuries to their face. The defendant's hair weave was also pulled and she had injuries to her elbow. Parties involved did not know who hit who, and the detective took out charges against all parties at that time, and all these events did occur in Fulton County, Georgia. Your Honor, the reason why we are, the state's okay with the signature bond, we're not opposed to it, is given the facts of this case, the parties do not know who in fact hit who, and also, Your Honor, the detective did take out warrants on all the parties, which actually include the victim here. I did not see anything in Odyssey that states that she's been arrested for this, but she is a possible cross-defendant in this case. So for this reason, Your Honor, we're not opposed to a signature bond. Nothing further from the state.
All right, Ms. Gant, you don't object to a signature bond, I take it?
No, Your Honor.
And what about the stay away and no further contact? Any objection to that?
We are opposed to the stay away if it's at 613 Ammo Drive. That is my client's grandmother's address.
What's at 1700 Gibbon Road?
Your Honor, that's the apartment complex. That's the main address of the apartment complex where the parties live. The only thing that the state would ask is for the defendant not to have contact with the victim in this case.
Okay.
Tatiana Hudson.
All right, so no further contact with is it Hudson or Johnson?
I apologize, Your Honor. The police report had it one way and the warrant had it the other way. I'm going to go by the warrant. Johnson, Johnsson. All
right, so for the battery, a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial. For the simple battery, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial, making for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial. No further contact with Tatiana Johnson, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
And Your Honor.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Kane is 17 years old. Her mother is prepared to co-sign for her.
Okay, what's your mother's name?
Karima, spelled Karimah.
Your last name?
Carver, Carver.
Okay. She'll have to.
That's not how you spell my mother's last name.
Okay, how do you spell it?
It's Tarver.
Tarver. Okay, Tarver. Okay. Let Ms. Tarver know that she's going to have to bring a utility bill. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, Ms. Kane. You all right today, Officer Milton? Okay, I can tell you're not your normal, peppy self, but I appreciate it.
Thank you, Rhonda, for throwing me under the bus.
I'm sorry, I wasn't meaning to throw anybody under any bus. So.
You owe me, Your Honor. You owe me one.
All right, I owe you one. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay.
All right. Thank you for everything. Bye-bye, everybody.
Whenever Ms. Bridgewater's here with me in court today, and as soon as she's ready, we'll go over the calendar.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, the reset date for the SAP calendar is going to be April the 12th. Position number 1 is reset to the competency calendar, which is, by the way, April the 14th. There was a $10,000 total good bond. Position 2 is reset to the SAP calendar, which is April the 12th, a $7,500 good bond. Position 3 reset to the SAP calendar with a $5,000 total good bond. Position 4 reset further notice with a $3,000 total SOB through pretrial. Position 5 reset to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. Position 6 reset to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 total good bond. Position number 7 is reset to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. Position 8 reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 9 reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 10 reset to the SAP calendar with a $2,000 good bond. Position 11 reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 12 reset further notice with a $5,000 total SOB through pretrial. Position 13 reset further notice with a $4,000 total SOB through pretrial. Position 14 reset to the SAP calendar with a $4,000 total good bond. Position 15 reset further notice with a $5,000 total SOB through the jail. Position 16 reset to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. Position 17 reset further notice with a $2,000 total SOB through the jail. Position 18, oh, I got it right here, hold on. I got you, hold on. Position 18 is reset to the SAP calendar with a $3,000 total good bond. Position 19 reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through the jail. Position 20 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 21 is being reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. And position 22 is reset. I got you, hold on. Position 22 is reset further notice with a total $5,000 SOB through the jail. Are there any questions, comments, or otherwise?
Yes, regarding position 9, is there a stay away order?
Position 9, I have it as a stay away from the 608 14th Street address.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Are there any others?
Okay, thank you all. Good to see everyone. I will see you all tomorrow.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, y'all have a good evening.